everybody. I have no idea if this is working yet, so we're going to make sure that we can see if it's live. Let me know if you can see me. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that I have all of my things working right now. I have just started setting up a new computer. My old computer has been kind of failing me. So just gotta go on and let's check it. It looks like we're live. Looks like we're good to go. Sweet. All right. So let's trying to get an app working for myself here. And I gotta talk to let's see what I'm told. That's what I thought. Profile accounts. Reconnect. Let me see. Okay. Can we just let things work for once? Can things just work? Okay, log out. Add account. Okay, let's see if that's working. Yes, no, is it working at all yet? Okay, let's try. Hey, we finally got a message from YouTube. Okay. Yeah, chime in a little bit if you can hear me and see me. I want to make sure that I'm working on across the platforms. It looks like I'm not coming in on Facebook yet. Yes, that's what we might end up doing. See if we can figure out, or I can watch my own live videos. Okay, so I can at least see it. This is a good sign. All right. Starting to see something. Okay, we're good. We're good. We'll call it all right. All right. Mic is pretty low. Let's check that. Make sure this is working fine. Sadly enough, this is the only mic I've got, so I hate wearing headsets too. All right. Let's just jump in and see how we go. All right. Sweet. I'm glad that's a little bit better. Well, hopefully it works a little bit better now that I've adjusted my volume so that hopefully it should work just fine. But oh, good. Okay. So hopefully everything works just fine. All right. Let me see if I can get everything set up nicely. All right. Now I'm pretty sure there's a way to be able to make the interface smaller, but I can't remember, so I'm just not going to worry about it. But eventually I'll go through and I'll make my UI a little bit smaller, the resolution higher. There we go. Cool. All right, so what we want to do, typically I'd be going through and I would be creating, I'd be working on Lonnie's Bulldog Diner. I went ahead and I put out a poll on my, in fact, here's the, there is the Bulldog Diner in all of its glory. Beautiful concept by Renee Bates. And typically that is what I would be working on during the stream. The last couple of weeks I went through and I was working on some of the blocking. I brought in the Bulldog and did some tweaking there. Starting to try to figure out the ground plane and kind of how I want some of the terrain to go, and try to do some blocking, some sketching out for ideas on how I could lay out the map of the area. And so far it's been pretty cool. On my Instagram, people responded and said that they would like to see me work on my Artstation challenge this week. So what I'm going to be doing, since my stream is focused on environment stuff, my personal stream is focused on characters and personal projects and the like. So feel free to go give me a follow there, whatnot. But people wanted to see my Artstation challenge stuff. So what I'll be working on is the base for my Artstation challenge piece. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. Let's load in some spotlight. Okay. So some of the things that I've gone through and done in preparation for tonight. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna want to pull in my other reference too. I've got other reference. How about that? Okay. Reference. It's probably not how you say reference in French. Okay, I need to get that, and I need to grab one more. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen. Oh, so the challenge is due on Monday, which is really not a lot of time. Okay, so these pieces over here are the sorts of things that I want to be looking at and referring to. My headset mic is cutting in and out. Let's see what we can do to fix that. Just out of curiosity, can you hear me? Just want to see if I just unplugged my headset. Yeah, you can hear me? Oh, sweet. So I don't even need to worry about having a headset on. This is glorious. Okay, sweet. All right. Now, hopefully the audio is good enough that you can hear that train, because the train's important. Oh, awesome. That's good to know. Okay. Yeah, if there are any other problems, please let me know. I'm going to try to go through and troubleshoot things as problems arise, because let's face it, they always arise. Cool. All right. Oh, good. Yes. Yes. People can hear me. I have a voice. Sweet. Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. All right, let's get these things set up and ready. Okay. I'm just going to set this one. Let's make it small and over here. So the idea of what I want, I know that I want her walking across the atmosphere. Very good audio. I'm glad that it's better. It's gonna make me very happy that I don't have to wear a stupid headset. The speakers in that audio headset, they're really good, but the microphone, I guess, is not very good. Anyway, so this is cool. Okay, so what we have here, there's this really cool piece. Oops. In fact, let's do this. Yeah, good time to work. Okay, I'm going to take this. Let's save the spotlight. I'm going to say environment spotlight. That way I can at least, bring it back in and make it work the way I need it to. Okay, so this is kind of my main inspiration for what I would like to do visually. So I mean, originally, in fact, I can bring in, not that. Let's bring in this other little sketch that I did too. Okay, let's kind of scale this down a little bit. Okay, so the idea is to have her walking across the atmosphere, and this chrysanthemum is supposed to be symbolic of the sun. Okay. I love how those little pieces get super small. Alright, let's go ahead, let's tile those uniform. Okay, but yeah, so this is kind of the idea of what I want to do. However, the other thing that I'm trying to think of is scale. One of the things that I want to go through and do, or that I thought about doing, was making her the size of a mountain rather than this colossus massive thing that penetrates the whole atmosphere. However, I'm not sure if that'll be exactly what I want or not, so we'll have to go through and kind of play with it. But so I mean, here's kind of that main idea. Okay, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna scale this up to, yeah, we don't really need to see that whole thing, so let's do that. And then we'll just bring that up. Okay. Cool. Alright. So, let's do this first, just so I don't freak out thinking that I'm doing something wrong. Let's turn off my spotlight projection there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's start figuring out the making of the base for this lady here. Alright. Let's go here, let's say merge visible. Okay, so now we have this, and this will just work as, you know, it'll just work. I mean, it doesn't have the textures anymore, but it at least has the Polypaint information. Okay, which I find to be quite important at this stage of development, right? Okay, so let's do this. First thing is to figure out scale. Let's go through, let's do this. Let's append a sphere. That is a beautiful sphere. Okay. Option 1. Okay. Let's bring this up here to the top. Alright. Okay. Now if I'm matching the idea of this concept down here, you're going to see that horizon has a lot of bend. So let's see if we can figure that out. Noise. High-pitched ringing, huh? Is anybody else getting a high-pitched ringing? Is this Okay, is it working? Yeah. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. If it's working, then put my headphones on. Okay. Okay, let me know if anything else happens again, because I can't see the audio levels with the mic the way that I have my computer set up. Um, your dog just followed my Artstation. Awesome. Okay. But yeah, so man. Okay. So I am looking forward to a day when I don't have to struggle against the technology. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Let me know if it happens again. And if worse comes to worse, don't listen to anything. Turn it off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that seems to have kind of more of that sort of arch. Now the other thing I can do is duplicate it again. Because hey, why not? Let's do something like this. So it's just one channel. Weird. Ah, that's irritating. Yeah, it still looks like maybe I'll check on it every once in a while just to make sure, because I don't want to send you guys to the hospital because of your ears bleeding or something, you know, like that's dumb. Explain everything in chat. Yeah, I wouldn't get anything done that way. Okay, I'm just pushing one to kind of repeat the command. I'm trying to decide which one I like best. So let's see. Okay, I have my perspective turned on, which doesn't help a lot with objects that are this large. For some reason, it likes to. There we go, that's better. Okay, so we're going to say here's shot one. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll cycle through them. Okay, more roundness, larger character, even still, and a more roundness to the sphere. Okay, it looks like the audio's still working. Sweet. Okay. Like I just got to check it every time I cough now or something. All right. So by doing this, I'm going to be breaking this into a few different layers. So not only do I have to figure out scale, so right here it'd be like size of a mountain, and here she's the size of a planet. Okay, she's just as big as the Earth. Um, I might just leave it at this. Yeah, let's try sculpting on this a little bit. If not, I can modify it and we can keep going. Okay, so let's take this one, bring it all the way down to the bottom. Okay, I don't need this whole thing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is turn off the perspective. Okay. That. Un gars pigeon. All right. Okay, so now this is where I want to go through, and we're going to start naming things. Let's say atmosphere. Okay, do this. We'll say land. And then we'll just Control-Shift-D again. Actually, no, let's do this. Let's delete this. Okay. What I want to do, I'm down to deformation. We're going to inflate this down a decent amount. Okay, I want there to be a thickness. I want there to be enough of a depth, the atmosphere, so that I can put in clouds and make it feel like there's some dimension there. Okay. So now that I've gone through and done, now I can go ahead and duplicate that and name that C. Okay, so one of the things that I was going through and considering, in fact, now that we've got reference, here we go, replace it, yes, all right. All right. One of the things I was considering was taking. Let me see, I don't need atmosphere turned on right now. That's a lot of depth. That might be too much. Let's take this C, let's inflate it some. We're just going to use this to figure out our distance because I know that the atmosphere touches her feet. Okay, which is what I want. I want her to be walking on the atmosphere. Okay. Something like that could be good. And now the nice thing that this does for me, I can take this, let's say always yes, turn that on. Okay, so now my ocean is nice and smooth. Now I can take this, turn on clay buildup. And we're just going to start bringing up little bits of land. Now, I want there to be land over here. One of the things that I really like to be able to do is to bring in Mount Fuji in the background because it is such an iconic land piece of land. However, I was looking at the geography of Japan, and I guess at this size I can probably do it. Fuji would be. Let's go ahead and turn on sculptress mode. We don't need to keep this topology clean or anything like that. Okay. So if we were to look at the geography of Japan, pull up the map. I took a screenshot of a map of the specific area that I would like to be able to depict. Let's go. Let's something like that. Okay, so we know that the sun travels from east to west. Okay, so we're going to lay it out like this. I'm going to bring it up. Okay. So if we were to place her right there, which would mean I need to really back some. Okay. Shoot. All those silly little rules. Okay, so Japan kind of follows this sort of outline where there's this bay right here. There's a little lake. And there's another little inlet over here. Okay, let's go over here. Where's everybody from? I like stories. So if you have stories, you'll get even more points from me. That's like awesome, right? I love stories. In case you didn't catch me last week or the week before, pretty sure it's my third week, right? Sounds about right. Yeah. So you didn't catch me previous times streaming. A little bit about me. I live in the Los Angeles area, California, and born in Texas, was raised in Utah. I speak Spanish. Love Spanish. It's the most beautiful language in the world. My wife speaks English, French, and Spanish. I speak just English and Spanish, but you know, it's kind of cool. It's still cool, right? I'm only half as smart as she is. It's okay. I know it. I'm willing to recognize it. Over there. Okay, so we're looking at this as a map of Japan. At least a map of this particular area of Japan. There's this bay. Actually, I don't know what the name of the bay is, but it's right next to Fukui and Maizuru. Maizuru is over here, and Fukui's up here, and then Kyoto is that's a name that everybody recognizes, is down over in this area. Okay, Nagoya is over here. Okay, Ishikawa up here, Toyama, Nagano, and then right over here, this is where Mount Fuji is. Okay, now it's pretty big. Okay, but this is where Mount Fuji sits. Okay, and now that we have that locked in, saludos. Trying to make your way into the industry. It's good to have you, Wilfred. Yeah. So a lot of what I want to go through and do is figure out what in the heck all this is supposed to be. I'm just going to go in and try to keep it fairly simple. Okay, now for you guys, what do you think? Is this scale working? I know for sure that I want to have her walking over land and water, which is nice with Japan because there's uh, so much water all over the place. And so I'm just gonna I'm using my trim dynamic brush. One of the things I want to do is I want to try to make it so that I have these stylized planes. It helps to kind of sell the stylization of the character and the set and all of that. Some of the other brushes that you can go to, just simple ones, trim adaptive. Trim adaptive is tricky though, because sometimes it'll give you too much cut. You can just kind of adjust your intensity, but it has a very round cut, whereas trim dynamic will adjust to the angles that you're sculpting on. So it's kind of something to bear in mind. This has too much. All right. So far we got East Coast. I don't know whereabouts, Wilfred, but that's East Coast is really great. I've got an aunt down in Virginia. We got Elspeth Brooks from Australia. It's good to have you. What time is it out in Australia right now? The UK, 4:30 a.m. Rare occasion to be up, but glad to catch you streaming. Yeah, I love watching Shane's stream. I usually try to tune in to his on Mondays. Shane's a good friend of mine, and Florida, sweet. Hey, yeah, it's not sunny here. Sunny place for shady people. uh, that's probably the funniest thing that I've heard all day. Okay, maybe not, but because I've heard some funny things, like, but definitely a contender. 12:30 p.m. on a Thursday. Holy cow! Can't believe it. It's always so funny thinking about other places in context of um, thinking about, because I mean, yeah, we're not in the same side of the planet, and so it's just bizarre. One of the things, so when I was living in Chile, um, that was a phenomenal experience because I mean, it's like I'm used to having Christmas in the snow. And it's weird enough to me having the weather be as warm as it has been here in LA. Um, because I'm from the mountains, I'm from the snow. Um, and so, having a white Christmas, that's what I grew up with. That's what I know. And so to be down in Chile in the southern hemisphere, where it's summer, like their December is my July. I mean, it's like, wow. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this to create some cool planar effects. I think I'm getting too busy in there. Taking Shane's course. Man, that's so lucky. Yeah, thinking about time zones in the US. I'd rather not. Like my folks are living down in Texas right now, and it's like after having grown up in Utah, my dad got a new job down in Texas, so they picked up, moved out, which is great, you know, whatever. Illuminati plot. I think daylight savings time is an Illuminati plot. Yeah, so again, this is me going through trying to figure out the base for my Artstation challenge piece. Okay, so this is that bay down around Kyoto. Lord, I just got rid of daylight savings time. Oh, you lucky dogs. I wish that we'd be so lucky. We had it on the ballot, which was nice that they would even put it on the ballot, but at the same time, I don't think anybody actually read the ballot. Go ahead and take this. As the land extends up here, just for the sake of composition and whatnot. Might have to cheat the geography some. Artists never cheat, but you know, it's a I don't know what the rest of the geography is like down over here. I only have the screenshot of this little area right around here because I was interested in Fuji and having water. Especially if she's traveling east. I'm pretty sure like somewhere along here they have like a mountain range. Let me look it up because that'll be helpful. Okay, let's see. And geography. I don't know. Let's just go to maps, and then what we can do. Directions from here. No, I'm not going. Yeah, so there is a mountain range just to the west. Let's check out the elevations real quick. Okay. Oh, they got a 4 out of 5 star. Most people give it a 5. Fuji though has 4.4 star rating and it has 3,600 reviews. I think it sounds like a place to go. Okay. Okay, so let's try this then. Let's try. Let me make it see through. You guys probably can't see through to the other side, but I can. It makes it really hard to see the details of what I'm sculpting, but that can be all right for right now. Especially since we're just in the blocking stages anyway. Okay, so it looks like oh, you know what? I'm getting lost. Let's see, let's try this. Okay. Trying to arrange this so that it kind of matches up a little bit better with the map that the map that I just pulled up is from the Google Geography maps. So I'm going to try to match this profile a little bit. Okay, so right here is where I thought Fuji was. Actually more up here. Just gonna go pop like that. Okay. Get rid of some of this land up here. Don't need that. So, and then make sure that that's one of the nice things is that this is single-sided, so I don't have to worry about it causing too many headaches for me. Okay, so this area right here of Nagoya feels like it's more of a valley. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make that kind of smooth and flat. Okay, so I need people's thoughts. Okay. I'm glad you like to see somebody sculpt terrain. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's, you know, it's good. Okay, so I need to hear from you. The thing I need to know from you is do you feel like this is working? And if you feel like it's working, why do you think it's working to have her at this scale? They rock, dude. Smurf. Rocks are totally more interesting than characters. So one of the things that we need to decide is whether or not the scale is working. Personally, I think it needs to be like, I don't know. I feel like at this scale, cool. Yeah, my dad had a pet rock when he was a so he was a nerd too, you know, but he's okay with it. My mom is too. So thing that I find interesting at this scale, I feel like it creates some interesting opportunities for me to be able to detail some rocks. And you know, a lot of these pieces are probably way not accurate for what they need to be, or for what they would be if it was, you know, really Japan. um, but it gives me some opportunities to be able to go through and sculpt stylized rock, and then patch stone on buildings. That's pretty cool, actually. So you're talking about like buildings that have stonework on the facade. You go through and you fix it when they break and fall off and things like that. I like that thought there, Wilfred. I like that. I like that thought. Um, and yeah, I think that it will give me some good opportunities, really, to just play with stylized rock and be able to put that in there. um, which makes me wonder now if it wouldn't be better if I were to go like this and make it so that she is standing. Maybe she's walking on the water or something. A great garden. To give it a little bit of color. And whichever way you spell it, it's fine. I'm not going to be picky. Give it a little bit of color just so that it's not so dull and gray. Yeah. RGB color fill object. And then like this. Color object. But I don't want the whole thing to be right. What I want is for it to be green closer to the land and maybe in here. Then I want to add in some big blue parts. So let's turn this off. You know, my standard. I figure out how to move my little thing here. There we go. When the stone on the building gets damaged, patch the cracks and chips, spalls from weather damage, etc. That's awesome. Ooh. Yeah, that's not something I ever got into doing, was like building repairs. But I did do a lot of a lot of oh shoot, turn off the Z ad. Lawn and yard sort of maintenance, that type of stuff. A ton of that as I was growing up. So now we can turn on sculptress mode. The reason I had it off before is that if I have sculptress mode on and I'm painting, it'll go through and it'll remesh my mesh to be able to keep that color nice and smooth, which is great if I want to be able to just do these edges kind of like this, you know. So not a bad deal. I'm gonna just brush some of this in. Okay. smooth this out. It's not giving me enough topology in here. So if I just hit smooth to be able to get at those points that are keeping me from my true potential. Yeah, I guess we could leave Z add on. It's not a big deal. It's gonna give it a little bit more work with in there. Okay, what's a movie that you guys haven't seen in a long time that you've been thinking lately, I should go back and rewatch that? I think for myself what it would be. Amelie. The Abyss. I don't know that I'd heard of that. Is that like a real horror sort of flick? Okay, so I need to hit. Ah, look at that. Okay, so this is something that I find kind of interesting at the moment. It's like expanding my mesh. I mean, it's only expanding it so far. Oh, I see what it is. It's because I have the dynamic turned on. That makes sense. Let me see. Oh, make sure that we save this. And save it. All right. Let's see. That's not fair for me to ask a question and not have an answer for myself. Let me see. A movie I haven't watched for a long time that I've been thinking I need to watch again. Well, Star Wars. I haven't watched that in a long, long time. But, you know, I don't really have time to watch movies that James Cameron, 1989, American Submarines, Caribbean, U.S. Search and Recovery Team work with an oil platform, crew racing against Russian vessels to recover the boat. Deep in the ocean, they encounter something completely unexpected out of left field. Interesting. Okay. That sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna have to go check that out now. The Abyss. I'm writing it down. I'm all out of water now. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's work on the land. See if we can get something that we like. Okay. Oops. Let's turn off MRGB because I don't need that. I don't need that kind of complication in my life. Which one of this? Joker. Alright, this is... Okay. So, a great way to be able to get things started. Yeah, we've already gone through, we can call this our blocking stage. This is really all it is. This is just our blocking to try to figure out proportion and layout and things like that. This is the kind of thing that we're working on with the Bulldog Diner set that we're working on. The difference with this one is that I only got a couple days left to finish it, so that's why we're working on it. Okay, so a great way to get going with this sort of stuff. I'm going to come over to brush, and I'm going to hit load brush. What I want to do, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the orb set. I don't want all of them, I just want like rock noise and rock detail. I hit open. Okay, now watch this. Okay. In fact, let's turn it to. Yeah, you see that? So really quickly and easily, it's just going through and it's creating little bits of land detail. Okay. Now this is because it has an alpha, but it has different drag stroke types that you can use. I'm going to come over here. Let's add some resolution to an area because these brushes are really quite magnificent and powerful, and it gets you a good. Oh, let's do this. I was meaning to get some resolution in there and not just smooth it out. Good grief. Okay. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta make sure I think about my final composition. Let's turn it back to drag rectangle. And let's turn our Z intensity like way up. Okay. Yeah, you can see that. How powerful that is. Now this isn't something where I would go through and say that that's done. Okay. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But I can go through and I can drag a few of these out like this, and I can come over with my trim dynamic, and I can start kind of sculpting this in. Let's turn on my solo mode or something. Let's get this kind of really going. You just kind of figure out ways to be able to simplify and stylize, be able to make it work for what you're doing. Okay. These brushes are brushes that you can get for free through his Artstation, or through his Gumroad or something like that. Let me see if I can pull up a link. Michael Vicente. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to copy this over. I'm pasting it to a couple of different spots. In fact, that's all right. Then what was the other spot? Let me see. So it's streaming to YouTube. Okay. Live now. Okay. There you go. Cool. So now everybody can get to the link. Okay, so Michael Vicente, he is an environment artist at Blizzard. Senior environment artist. Okay, really fantastic, stupendous artist. One of the things that he had are these brushes, and he's graciously made them available to us. Okay, so we have the orb rock detail. We also have, load in my other one, rock noise. Okay, so this one's working off of a spray. Okay, this is great for like final detailing. You can also use it to get some interesting shapes and forms, be able to block things in. Okay. So since that presents like way too much detail at the start, we're going to go through and we're going to use this rock detail. And let's go ahead and let's turn off sculpting mode so we can pull some of these in. And we can also, like, if we hold Alt, we can do the inverted version. Okay, so we can essentially get like these cool variations on the way that the land is, the way that it is topographically, right? Okay, let's change my Z intensity down, actually. That's too much. It takes a lot of experimentation to try to get something that you feel good about. Okay. Now, one of the tricks with, yeah, these brushes are phenomenal. Okay. So when you're working with these sorts of things, a lot of people go through and say, that's cheating. Like, well, no, it really isn't. And it isn't for a couple of reasons. One, you have to figure out how to place them so that they work for what you need them to do, you know? Two, like I said, it gets you a lot of the way there, but it does not get you all of the way there. Take this and kind of just carve into. Okay. You still have to decide where and how to place them. So it still leaves all of the art of it in your hands. Okay, so let's go back. We need to bring let's boost up this intensity some. That might be too much through here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flatten some. Okay, I'm gonna flatten it over. And let's take this, shrink it down a little bit, make sure that it's oriented to the surface. I'm just going to do that. That way we can still keep terrain detail. So let's go in, let's fill in some of this area too. Oh, not that one. And that's what happens if you leave it on and you leave Sculptress mode on. That's tremendous. Which could be cool, I guess, if we're blocking in Fuji. No, just kidding. We're gonna want to get more reference for that. Okay, let's turn off Sculptress mode for a minute. Okay, so one of the things that I'm thinking about, let's take my, I like to use my standard, and I take my the intensity way down. One of the things I like to think about is that if I'm doing a mountain range, I don't want the mountains to be going, you know, like different directions. Okay, so as I'm doing mountain, thinking about directionality. Okay, I'm thinking about keeping them, they're going parallel to each other. Let's kind of come in here, I'm gonna sketch in. Whoa, we've got 75 people. I wonder if that counts me, because technically I have my Twitch open, I think. I'd like to thank everyone who doesn't have something better to do on a Wednesday night. Okay, let's take this down. Low, low, low. Okay, so a lot of what you're going to see with mountains is that you're going to see different evidence of erosion. You got to think about, okay, so erosion means that it's got runoff, that you're having all these little streams of water kind of coming down. Goes to Christmas Future. Okay. How are you doing, my friend? see. Yeah, you missed all the fun. Anybody else participating in the Artstation challenge? Anybody got any cool projects going on, personal projects, things that they're excited about? This back stuff is going to be just that. This back stuff. I don't have to worry about detailing things out a ton back here. I really need to worry about silhouette, making sure that silhouette reads. So let's make sure something like that. I wonder how far behind the stream is what I'm reading on your chat. Yeah, it's pretty far behind. All right. So here's something to consider. So compositionally, something from this angle is going to work so much better. Watching the first few seasons of SpongeBob. Awesome. I'm not a big SpongeBobian. So the things that I like to watch. The things I like to watch. I really like I love Supernatural. I think that was super fun. What was the other one that I watched? I can't even think of what the one is that I like to watch. Right around her feet. My wife has been watching a lot of documentaries lately. Things like anyone does that. What else am I watching? What else? I hate when I surprise myself with my own questions. is definitely not coming off the way that I want it to. Oh well. It will later. It will when I have. Come back over here. Oh yeah, I watched. I've been trying to watch Daredevil. Um, I watched Iron Fist. I like Luke Cage. Luke Cage and I think Daredevil is probably my favorite of that series. I didn't really like Jessica Jones. There were things I liked about it, but I didn't really like it generally. Um, Punisher was great. Loved Punisher. I feel like they picked the absolute best person for Frank Castle. I feel like he was phenomenal. Yeah. It's like the kids might be awake. Oh, did you see also the gal that plays Karen? Um, she First off, I love she and Foggy. They're just fun. They're great. They were well cast too. But she's in this new movie that's coming out some point soon, called Escape Room or something like that, which I thought looked awesome. Come on, I keep jumping between having that turned on and off. Okay, so this is something that I might do. Let's do it over instead. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, totally watch that trailer for. I think it's called Escape Room, and looks really intense. Hopefully, I mean, it's like the idea. P.S. Thank you. Goes to Christmas Future. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about this idea, um, because it feels like something different and unique, and hopefully something that will kind of set it apart. maybe even just a little, you know. A lot of these little islands, making them up. Any real sailor would like super know. I'm totally faking it on those islands. Yeah, and I mean, as you can see, also like from the original idea in the bottom corner, um, she was intended to be walking on the atmosphere, which I still think is a great idea. You know what? Here's what we need to do, because I didn't think about composition. If my end composition, not bad. Let's try this. Let's do my rock detail. Oh, I don't want to make sure that I some resolution over here. Figure out how to get this feel the way I want to feel. Composition is total beast. And usually when you're working on environments, yeah, you have to think about composition, but usually there's somebody else that does that kind of thinking for you. Okay, that's not entirely true. Because you have to go through a lot of the dimensional thinking. Like, you know, if you look at it from over the top, sometimes you'll get like a map drawing. We get like a map drawing, and yeah, not all the time. Usually, what you'll get is something where it's more just like a cool illustration, and then a lot of times you have breakouts. If in your environment you have a cool mountain, they'll do an extra cool drawing of a cool mountain, the front, maybe from the if you're doing if you're doing something like a cityscape, they'll go through and they'll give you like breakouts for the cars or for the storefronts or for different things like that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do something tricky. Clip brush. play with this. I'm liking that better. Kind of got to play with that silhouette. I mean, if you look at it just there, then it might not look quite right. Or, you know, if you look at it from the top, it might not look quite right. But if you look at it in context of the composition, definitely helps for you to think what is it that you need to do to bless the scene. Quite honestly, like these back mountains, they don't matter a whole lot, especially in light of what it is that I'm doing with them. They're just a background element. They'll probably be blurred out enough anyway that you will only see silhouette. I don't want to spend a ton of time figuring that out and blessing these mountains. Now, on the other hand, if I were to be going through and making a movie of this, it would be cool, by the way. I lost my chat. There we go. CG is life. Thank you, Abhishek. I really like having this cliff right here. I don't know that. See, like to me, she feels big, but she doesn't feel massive. So, what we gotta try to do, we gotta try to think about how do we work out these details so that they feel the details small. Like they feel big, but they feel small. Okay, so there's something I'm going to go through. It's a trick that a friend of mine at DreamWorks taught me when I was working. I'm just going to adding in some here because, hey, not right? Okay. I want it to be stretched, gangly, ducky, poly. Okay. Yeah. Something like that. Oh, I don't know that I'm feeling like my camera is wonky. Actually, one of the things I did is I turned off the dynamic perspective. Something that I feel like is wonky about the camera with ZBrush cameras is that I don't feel like it's consistent all the time. So like right now, this is really like crowding her feet. I don't feel like it's giving me the perspective that I told it to give me. which, if we open this up, see I have it set to an angle of view of 50. It's just the default. Okay. So if I go through and I turn off that dynamic, see how that popped all of a sudden? And I can see her feet much better. So that's something that I like to keep in mind. I think, yeah, let's just do this. So one of the things that show you this tool. I don't know how many of you have ever played with it, but I didn't learn about it until last year or the beginning of this year, something like that. I don't know, whatever. This clay polish feature under geometry. Just by default, it's going to give me these shapes through here. It's going to go through and it's going to figure out what is more of an angle, and it's going to polish everything else out. So if I just go through and hit this a few times, you can see it's starting to mask out certain edges. Okay, I'm just going to keep hitting it a few times. Okay, so you see we're starting to get this really geometric sort of looking thing here. Okay, which is cool. Not exactly what we want, but since we have that now, we can come over here, we can get our trim dynamic. Couldn't find it, so I'm just going to go ahead and push it. We can just start playing. One of the things that I'm noticing like this, but I feel like it's probably just too much. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to mask it out. Shrink it down. Okay. I have no idea what's happening right there, but for some reason, you know what? I bet it's just a hole in the ocean. Let's see, is this working for me? Let's do this. Too much. Too much variation. Oh, like, like these are too tall. I'm just gonna kind of break it up some. On some. And by making smaller peaks, let's see what that looks like. Try this a few times. You know what? I think going too stylized with this might actually be So let's do this. I'm gonna go in here. Out. From this view, we're going to try to see if we can figure out a good composition. Looks like we're missing some. We need to get some more detail, more resolution. Okay. Off. So far, something like this is working better. So now that we've got something that looks acceptable, just give ourselves a little bit more depth. One of the things that I'm trying to do is trying to make sure, like we had mentioned earlier, I want the mountains to kind of have a directionality to them. You heading out already, Wilfred? Thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. We will see you around. Everybody say bye, Wilfred. Bye. Have a good night. I feel like by adding in these sorts of details, I feel like it's starting to feel like it's a larger. It's too round. Okay. Go through and let's plan this. Thanks, Murph. Something like this as the other angle. It feels very sloped, and so I'm trying to figure this out. All right, bring back this orb detail. Turn on detail. This is so that I can couple it render. It doesn't have to totally kill me. Nice. Is that these pieces add up on each other? So by experimenting, it allows us to have that flexibility of liking that. Let's do some. It allows me to have the flexibility of seeing, do I like how much it's adding? Do I... This is cool too. You can go through and you can turn it and rotate it as you're dragging it out, so you can decide whether or not it's support the form that you're trying to drag out. And you can always come in, you can tweak your intensity in case it's being too strong for you. Then if you drag it out once, and then you hit the 1 key, it'll go through and it'll repeat that same stroke. So that becomes pretty helpful. It's way too powerful. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Make sure there's variation to this area over here. Okay, so doesn't look like much. But I think it's starting to look like something in the right. Let's take this and just kind of shape it. Let's see. Anybody have any good riddles? Really like good. You have a to hear your good riddle. Why is a raven like a riding desk? We do. It was always one of the strangest things to me. It was strange to Alice too, where she was going through and she was, why is a raven like a writing desk in the Mad Hatter? Beg your pardon. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Why is the what? It's all up in a huff and everything, and it's just, oops. Some of these. Topology. Yeah, I love this sculptress mode. I mean, I haven't used Dynamesh much at all since this game. Oops. We can get more of a come in. Move brush. Smooth with the move brush. You know, let me see. time, so I'm not gonna. Well, it's funny. Well, I don't know how many of you. There are 49 of you left on watching, having the streaming while you're working. Or maybe you're like me, you're just total ZBrush dork, and you're just trying to watch as much as you can. But one of the things I think I totally just lost what I was gonna say. Oh, that's what it was. Those of you are still on, that were on like at the beginning when we had all the fun tech figuring of out. Yeah, that was fun. It was a adventure. This is almost sculpting ASMR. Yep. That microphone squeal, that was a special effect that I drew up just for you. That was terrible. I mean, I'm sure that anybody who goes back to rewatch this, you're just not gonna be. They're not gonna stick around long to be able to watch. Now we can go in. Now I can do more of my styling. I was just using that pinch brush. Okay. Now, since we have this clay polish, let's see. If we can play with it. Watching this sculpt feels like I want to play Total War Shotgun. Oh, Total War Shogun. Oh my goodness, I totally read that wrong. That was funny. I'm not like that. It look too much like I don't want Sandy. I think I like this a whole lot better. So what I'll probably do I don't need this. Let's go. Make sure that this is all visible. And let's see this curve. Actually, let's do it this way. So what you can do, you can use your brush radius. So now, drag this out. I'm going to create polygroup on either side. And that's much reasonable of size. Let's take it a little bit, because quite honestly, I want to have a little bit more behind her than I have in front of her. Not a big deal, but this way too. Now look. Turn off. Nice little polygroup. And it's just the land, just that piece. So now if I want to, and I do, I can go ahead and I can extrude this out, but I'll do that. I want to go ahead and get the water part of it first. Okay, so that I can get something that's matching. Yeah, and so all I did is I had Control Shift. Oh, let's make sure it's all the same polygroup. Control Shift, and then if you hold spacebar, you can get to that brush radius, and that'll go through and it'll take your brush, your draw size, and it'll create polygroups. So I'm gonna just be able to do that one more time. Have to anyway. Yeah, I can like. Okay. I'll line it up. Okay, so let's come over here. Apology, lead hidden. Lead hidden. And actually, since I'm thinking about it, let's just come over here, just so we can make sure keeping. Oh. I just want to make keeping whole pieces and come back to. Okay, now we got this. Okay, let's move the land. Let's see. Now we have these things matching up, you know, relatively well. Okay, what I want to do is I now want to give these things thickness. Okay. Now it's not going to be as simple as using my my Z-modeler brush, like I would usually do if I were having like a low poly mesh. I'm going to have to go through and I'm going to have to yeah, I've got a different method here for you. So let's first things first. First things first, I eat your brains. And we're here to geometry, and we're going to say remesh. There we go.
yeah, we can leave it at 5. We'll just leave it at default. That should be fine. Because right now it's at 102,000 polys, and it doesn't need to be that high. At some point, we'll go through and we'll be oh hey, how about that? Modify topology, delete hidden, not do Z. We'll be doing UVs, we'll project basic color onto this. And then we'll go ahead, we'll actually project the basic color on there. Honestly, what I'll probably do is I will create a shader inside of I don't want to scream into the mic. Is it, am I just not speaking loudly enough? Is that... I do have my mic up. Let me just make sure that that's up all the way. Okay. I just have a hard time talking too much. I don't want to be ruining my voice because I also teach classes online. Yeah, no screen, please. No. Feel super happy with myself for defying. So defiant. This is not good. Okay. Let's just make sure this is all smoothed out. Restraining order. Poppycock. Adaptive size. Let's bring that all the way down. Curve strength. I don't need that at all. Let's take this 5 down to 1. And let's do the Z remesher again. Let's Z remesh this thing. Looks like it's already done. Sweet. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what Papa wants. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn this to a flip. Whee! Did you see that? Yeah, there's your flip. Oh. Man, you guys are so demanding. Yes. Solo. Sweet. Okay. Now let's do the same thing for the land. Can't believe you guys are so demanding on me. Are you just demanding to all the streamers? I don't remember seeing this do what I want. Great. Now you're just like totally putting on all this really heavy and pressure. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with that. Actually, let's see. Adaptive size, I might want to some of that. And then the pressure of freedom. Let's actually hit save because saving every once in a while is a good idea. It's already after 10 o'clock, guys. I'm doing a great job at getting you guys to bed on time. That does not look like. Oh, that's right, because I had to move it over. Shoot. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this piece, delete it. Okay. Go back, let's turn our character back on. I think it's safe to say we get rid of these. Okay. Twitch streams can never understand the meaning of freedom. Too much for them to handle. They can only survive off of us with our command. Live action Aladdin? For real? I saw the live action, the mixed media, I don't know what to call it, the CG Lion King that wonder what the genie did after being released. Whoa, we're getting people in now from the UK. It's interesting streaming like this late in the evening and just seeing the folks that come in. And the times that they come in too. I mean, we're just getting people in from the UK and yes. Good morning. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Alright, that looks good. 11-hour night shift. Man. What do you do? Do you do security? What's your, what is your gig? Turn this off. What is it that you do, Rethon? Rethon Studio. Help desk for halls of residence for university students. Cool. That's interesting. Like I don't think they do that. So right now, what I'm doing is trying to figure out what I'm doing. No. So right now what I'm doing is I've got ground plane that we okay, and I want to give it better so you don't even have to go and do it yourself. You can just send somebody else to do it. See that's brilliant. This could you imagine somebody teabag? That's Let's take it this brown color. Everything off. Actually, do you see the renders for what did I have it set to? That's pretty gross. But you get to send somebody else to right? That's you said. So that's not too bad. Students are all sad day. Well, looks like a material. Nope, got the right material, wrong color. Color fill object. Okay, this is that pretty doggone well. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna do unwrap. It was done in 0.2 seconds. Hey, look at that! I can flatten it. It's been one of the funniest ZBrush and UVs. I like how that is flowing around the outside. So we get to do something about it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Because I really, really want to make sure to actually the geometry edge loop. Go ahead, not do doubles. Don't need. Oh. Let's check this then. Okay, is that better? Hopefully it's not cutting me off now. I think what I had done is I had I'd put in a setting called sound gate, I think is what it's called. But what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to kind of cut out sounds that fall below a specific decibel level. So, yeah, whatever. We've been messing with all sorts of funny problems, haven't we, guys? It's just my brain cutting off every now and then. No, it's actually true. So so you can feel bad about yourself. It's okay. Making bad jokes. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Need to go Z remesher. Let's say we'll just leave that default. Let's take this down to 3. Okay, and let's say keep groups. don't don't diagnose me with that. It's way too early for something like that, dude. Man, look at those funky monkeys. Feel no wrong about your actions. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Since this isn't working, that's right. Okay, so since I have the liberty, so this is for the Artstation challenge, and there's an Artstation challenge happening on Artstation, and so what I'm doing is trying to figure out exactly what my base needs to look like for this challenge. So if I come back here, show you this is the character that I developed for the challenge. She's pretty. Yeah, lots of fun. Give me a break. I don't care that there are multiple subdivisions. I just want to change my subtools. So yeah, this is the idea. So the theme of the contest is the shogunate, Japanese feudal stuff. And so the idea that I had was going through and creating Japanese goddess. And yeah, I mean, it's just something fun, just something fun for the sake of having fun. And so now I'm just trying to go through and figure out how to make my, I don't need to keep groups, how to make my base work the way that I want it to. But so far it's been kind of the render that's showing up on the stream, on the on your screen. I did that in Arnold, inside of Maya. So yeah, she was created inside of ZBrush. Okay, it was a lot of fun. And then that is a rogue little face. Yeah, and then just kind of, yeah, it's the first time I've seen trolls too, but we're here to have fun. We're here to try to enjoy together, and hopefully, learn and grow and whatnot. That's always one of my goals. Thanks. with the hair, I want to go through and tweak the shader so that so it has a little bit more of the anisotropic sort of reflection. It gets pretty fun. Okay, I think let's go through and do this. We'll just say project. Okay, so now we got the color. We got as good of the dimensions as we're going to get from this sort of from as oh my goodness, from as low poly of a version of model that we have here. So what we're going to do now, this is where we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our thickness. Okay, let's turn on our character. We'll turn on the C. Okay, so we'll start with the C piece just because it's flat-ish. Okay, so there are a couple of things that I can do. Okay, so for this, what I want to do is I want to go first to morph target. I want to say store morph target. Okay, and then with my gizmo, I'm going to make sure that's set straight up and down. So hold Alt and then rotate. I'm just going to pull this down, maybe to about right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to flatten it. Okay, looks good. Okay, so now I've got this, and all I did really is store morph target and then move it. So now what I can do is I can create a difference mesh. Okay, now when I do that, it's a really quick process. Come over here, and here is the difference mesh. And since I went through and I pulled it down instead of pulling it up, it's inside out. It's not a big deal. I just come down here and say flip, and there we go. There's that ocean piece. Okay, now what's cool is that it gives me 3 different polygroups. Okay, so I can come over here, I can say geometry, let's crease PG, and actually we can go down to polygroups and we can say group by normals, and then we can get better creasing. Okay, so now this is fairly decent. Let's do this. Come on. And then we're going to take our deformation and we're just going to relax. Okay. Polish by groups maybe. I'm just going to try to polish through, figure this out, make sure that we're getting good. Thank you, Amir. You're awake now. What did you miss? You weren't gone long. You weren't gone long. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's come over here. Let's append this piece in. Okay, so now you can see I've got that C piece. Okay, and it's creating this nice thick, thickness, so it's late, the kids are asleep, I don't want to wake them up. So I've got a good reason to be speaking in a low monotonous voice. Although my wife thinks it's really nice. I'm sure she'd like to be listening to it right now. Okay. I do have kids. They are wonderful. Yes, I do. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do, I want to go ahead and get the color from the painted plane onto the, yeah, I am, I'm living in LA right now, yeah. But I want to be able to make sure that I retain this shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit morph target, store morph target. We can come down here, we can say projectile. Okay, make sure that distance is nice. Okay, yeah, looks like that's probably pretty good. Okay. Thank you, John Zorro. That was nice of you to say. Alright. Now, purely because I want to make sure that I bring my shape back, since I stored a morph target, I can come down here and I can say switch, and now any difference in the mesh, I can just bring it right back, and we're good to go. Alright, let's go ahead and let's get the land. This land is your land, this land is my land. Okay, so same thing. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna take this, we're gonna hit that, hit the gizmo. Okay, gonna make sure it's all rotated out. We gotta make sure we come down, store morph target. We're gonna bring that down. Let's turn on our perspective so we can see. Okay. So now we've got that. We can go ahead and create the difference mesh. Okay, and again, since we brought it down, it's going to be inverted. Okay, display properties, flip. Pretty sweet. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to take this, I want to say insert the land difference mesh. Turn off that water. We don't need it right now. Okay, and then let's actually do this. Okay. Looks good. There's not really anything special to that, so let's just go ahead, let's do this solo. Okay, and then we'll just come down here, MRGB, and let's fill that object. Okay, so now we can say, got all that, turn that off. Alright. I do. I 3D print quite a bit. I have my own 3D printer. I use a Form 2, and I love 3D printing. I'm hoping at some point that I can go through and I can print her out. It'll be tricky because the flower is really delicate and it's not really made for that sort of thing, and I would have to do a lot of prep, a lot of thickening things out, things like the collar or the chopsticks, those hairpins, all these pieces that are so thin, I'd have to thicken them up quite a bit in order for them to work and to turn out on the printer, and even more to be able to, to stand afterward. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I love the standard gray resin. I just got updated to the new resin reservoirs, the basins. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, I just got Pro Gray, and so I'm excited to try that out. I've got a couple of yeah, that long life. Is it LT? Is that what it is? I can't remember, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited. I've had a few things printed on it before in the Pro Gray, and it turns out really, really nice. Okay, so there's that. The challenge is going well. I mean, this is kind of like all I've got left to do. I did want to go through and do the koi fish. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably have seen things that I've been posting about the progress, and that's been fun. Pre-noon. Oh man, you have no idea how nervous I am. I don't know if I'm going to finish on time or not. Okay. Let me see, because this is really weird. Okay. Yeah, that skull. Well, yeah. So the interesting thing is that technically, what I could do for the base is I could take. Wait, I could take, just like just a standard simple base. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just wanted to tell a story, and so I'm way overcomplicating it. I am way overcomplicating it. So maybe this is just kind of, one of the things I always tell people is that you can't be married to your ideas. If you just need to walk past it, whatever, you just walk past it. If it's going to hold you back trying to go through and work through it, then don't let it hold you back. Find a different idea. If it really is what's best for your project, then that's what you want to, yeah. Yeah. There's some cool pieces there. And really, I don't think... who's that other guy? I've got to go check it out now. There's... submissions. Okay, come on. Wow, there are some super cool things coming through. Okay, the guy... So if you were to go over and click on popular, there are... Oh my goodness, Amir, that is awesome. That's such a cool idea. I've got to write this down. Oh. So I usually keep my sketchbook out next to me when I'm working. And I haven't needed it yet. And so... yeah. Can't see what I put on Twitch. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the idea. Let me tell you. Okay, so this is from YouTube. This is Amir from YouTube. He was saying, they were saying it'd be really cool if you put a bunch of red butterflies coming from her steps. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. Why didn't I think of that? Well, that's a really cool idea. The main idea of what I had thought of before, yeah, you could make an IMM brush and really, or even a curved brush, really, really cool. So if you wanted, I like the idea, but if you wanted to make it more simple and tell a similar story, you could have a desert base and have grass springing up from her toes. True. Or burning up under her toes. My original idea, and you can see the little thumbnail in there. The little thumbnail at the bottom of the stream. Oh, maybe you can't. Let me turn it on actually, because I've got it. of see it now. Quick save. Maybe. Okay. Let's turn that off. So you can kind of see, here's this this thumbnail right here. Let's kind of make this bigger. So the idea, these big white blobs right there, these big white blobs are actually supposed to be koi fish. It's just blocking them in, right? And I've actually started modeling out the koi fish. Oh, that'd be interesting. So she steps forward and grass springs up and her other foot springs forward and the grass kind of like dries and withers as it's oh no, that's not what I want to do. Okay, save the scene. So let's kind of bring this over. Load the koi. Okay. So this is the koi that I went through and modeled out. I think I modeled it out on my own channel. So I mean, if you're interested in going through and seeing that, you might be able to catch the video there. Yeah. Well, so the koi are really cool because if they're strong enough, well, I mean, the legend comes from China, from the Yellow River, and if the koi were strong enough, they would swim up the river, and at the end of the river there's a waterfall, and if they could get up the top of the waterfall, they turn into dragons, and that's really, really cool. Really cool legend. And so, like, you know, to me, I really, really like that, and I actually would really love to give Amaterasu these like dragon tattoos kind of coming down her arm. But you know, it'd be one of those things that I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, that's because this is, I mean, obviously this is my low res base. This is my high res base. There's my high res ocean. High res. Doth Plagueis the Wise. Yeah, he killed off his mentor and decided that he wanted to live forever. Anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and just turn these off. Yeah, so, and that was fun. I think that, I think in the future, I might just, well, I mean, you know, obviously this piece is done. It's due on Monday. So, you know, as I move forward and get this piece wrapped up this weekend and whatnot, I mean, I'll be streaming periodically as I wrap her up, as I do all the stuff in Maya I need to do, whatever. Dude, side effects, you're like super late. But yeah, so I think that, good evening, John. I think that as I move forward on this character, I think that I will probably go ahead and do A simple base. Yeah, sleeping. I wish I was sleeping. I need to be sleeping. It's time to start getting ready to sleep. But yeah, I think I need to go ahead and do the simple base. And then, yeah, maybe I'll go ahead and I'll do the simple base, and then I'll maybe go ahead and do the koi. The one of the main things that I want to make sure that I get right is the background. I want to make sure that she has a good starry sky background, and sleep is for suckers. Fun. See, it won't scroll. Every thumb. That's a really fun koi on there. How big is that miniature? Is that like a 35 millimeter? Yeah, sleep is definitely not a waste of time. Anyway, I better go and like not waste my moonlight hours. Need to get ready for bed. But yeah, 25 millimeter base is probably about a 33 millimeter height, 35 millimeter height in the character. It's pretty cool. Anyway, go check out the Artstation challenge, and yeah, I mean, have fun. Go support some really great artists that are on there. There's some really cool pieces. And hopefully I'm at least a competitor doing well. I don't know that I'll win, because there are some really cool pieces that are turning out fantastically well. Hamadi Ben Slimani from Tunisia, his piece is turning out fantastic. Artem Gansior from, oh look at that, from Louisiana. His piece is turning out fantastic. All sorts of really cool pieces. So go give them a look-see, and give them likes and all that. Really fun. Anyway, so I will see you all around, and yeah, go follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. Got my handle down there on the bottom there. So go check it out. And I'll be on again next week, 8 o'clock. So talk to you later. Okay? Bye. Thanks for tuning in.